2023 saw a variety of crime throughout the state line, from a 23-year-old man accused of stealing a funeral van to the arrest of a Boone County clerk, Julie Bliss. 23 News morning anchor Marta Berglund takes a look, an in-depth look, in fact, at the crime stories that made headlines this year.
23-year-old Dion Howard was charged with unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle and abuse of a corpse after he allegedly stole a van from Collins and Stone Funeral Home with the body of Curtis Brown inside. The incident happened on January 21st. The van was found in Chicago on January 22nd. Brown's body was found on the 23rd. Howard was arrested in Green Bay in March and is still in custody in the Brown County Jail. Rockford preschool teacher Teresa Wiley was murdered in 2016, but it wasn't until March 10 of this year that an arrest was made in her case. 31-year-old Kayal Merrills faces first-degree murder charges in connection to Teresa's death. Wiley was shot during an apparent home invasion while at a friend's house on Carbaugh Avenue. The other woman, Crystal Scott, survived the shooting. Merrills is due in court next on January 11th for a status hearing. Another murder case from 2016 saw somewhat of a conclusion this year. 40-year-old Eric Jackson was convicted on June 16th of killing Keandra Austin and her 3 children. The murder happened in September of 2016. Austin was stabbed in her home, then Jackson lit her house on fire, killing the 3 children. Jackson represented himself in the trial and is due back in court on Tuesday. He has not yet been sentenced. Dakota High School football coach and teacher Daniel Sheets was arrested on August 2nd after an investigation by the Stevenson County Sheriff's Office. The 37-year-old was initially charged with 3 counts of child pornography and 2 counts of unauthorized videotaping. He was handed more charges on August 3rd and again on August 17th, now facing 23 counts in total. His trial date is set for January 29th. Just one day later, on August 18th, another local math teacher was arrested on grooming charges. 61-year-old Marshall Pratt was taken into custody for allegedly having inappropriate contact with a student. He faces 2 grooming charges. According to the Rockford Register-Star, Pratt had an inappropriate relationship with a high school junior, reportedly giving her gifts and sending inappropriate messages through an encrypted messaging app. A statement from the Rockford Public School District clarified Pratt no longer works at the high school. He is due in court on Tuesday for a status hearing. On September 20th, 3 men from Chicago were arrested in connection to the 2020 murder of Carl Gordon Jr. of Belvedere. The 35-year-old's body was found in June of 2020 in Blue Island, Illinois. Jarrell Burnett, Antoine Lovelace, and Cody Matthews all face first-degree murder, aggravated unlawful restraint, and concealment of a homicidal death charges. Boone County Clerk and Recorder Julie Bliss could spend more than 100 years in prison after an indictment from the State Attorney General's office released on October 13th accused Bliss of stealing money from the county. The 53-year-old faces 26 counts, which allege she used a county credit card to pay for personal expenses like groceries and car repairs. An investigation into Bliss began in April after a fellow employee reported irregularities in the county's bank accounts. Bliss is now on administrative leave, but as an elected official, she cannot be removed from the position. She would have to resign. Working for you in the state line, Marta Berglund, 23 News.
Tomorrow, watch 23 News at 10 as Marta Berglund takes a look at the tragedies that happened in our state line this year.